All right, we're recording. I think, is it this one? I don't know if it's this one.
Oh, Ben.
Oh, hold on. Where's the volume? Why is this one not? All right. There's our intro music. We can hear it, but nobody else can.
You had me worried right there. I was like, wait, what?
I'll get it. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay, can we stop that? That's really long. Okay. All right.
But it is recording.
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay.
It's been recording for 28 seconds now.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the District 3 podcast. My name is Ben. I'm the legislative assistant for Councilwoman Shamika Parrish-Wright, who is here today. But we are also joined by Miss Sheryl Day, a social worker and family resource coordinator in JCPS. So we would really like to talk about the youth and what you do and the importance of your work, especially in the summer season when school is out. So
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Sheryl Day. I work at Rutherford Elementary School, where we are very rich in culture. We're located on the south side of Louisville, and this is summer break.
Breathe. Woosah, summer break.
Yes, all the madness from kids and staff and families kind of dies down a little bit for us FRCs, and we're collecting data and getting ready for the next grant.
I love that. Well, I had a few questions for you, but I want to tell you thank you and all of the JCPS staff, bus drivers, school monitors, everybody that does their part, because as a mom, I appreciate having that support. I work so hard to send them to school because I can't do it all. And I realized that after a few homework lessons, I'm like, yeah, teachers are there for a reason. Because I get frustrated and they need patience and grace. And although I've been able to help some, I can't help them all. And so I appreciate all that you do. I believe in public school education. I see it as the great equalizer. I know that it's been a pathway for my family to gain stability, to gain the ability to navigate life. And so the work is so powerful, and I definitely want to support schools. I tried to become a school board member. That was like breaking into Fort Knox. But because I wanted to have representation of a parent who had kids at that time. I had kids in elementary, junior high, and high school and middle school. And so, and looking at my high school students and looking at my elementary students, realizing that their experiences were different and that they had different needs. Some of them were in accelerated classes. Some of them had an education plan. And just knowing that I'm entrusting the most precious things in my life are my children, and they're getting on these buses and they're going into the schools and institutions that I'm hoping that they do right by them. And so when I meet people who care, who see this as a career, who love what they do and love working with kids, I always want to tell them thank you. And shout out to all the teachers and the supporters, the child care workers, all of those folks who help make our kids' life a success.
Awesome. Shout out to the RAM fam.
Yes.
And the people that are close to me and work with me every day. I also call it the trap.
Yeah.
And I mean that wholeheartedly. I don't mean that with a negative connotation by any means. It's because it's constant. We got resources and needs coming through the front door, the back door, on the phone, in the email. And as a FRIS, you have to compartmentalize and be like, okay, what's most important right now in that moment, right? And sometimes it's self. So I want to encourage educators, everybody that's taking a break right now, to really encompass that, because when August comes, it's going to be right back to go time, right? So making sure that we take a time now and take a beat for ourselves. Even though I'm still working, I'm still kind of getting, things ready for the next year so that we can come in smoothly, so the kids, the parents, nor the teachers have anything to worry about as it comes to resources for our students and families.
Yeah.
Excellent. So can you, since you had that great introduction, can you tell us what, I know it just ended, but give us what a day in the life is like for you when you start your day at school, a couple of examples of things you've had to help students navigate, and how you recharge for the next day.
Sure. Well, how I charge and maintain, because I try to maintain on a 10, and I start in the morning. First thing, just giving the kids, I come from a retail background, so giving them that grand opening, right? Good mornings and highs and high fives. In elementary school, it's a lot of hugs. It's a lot of hugs.
Louisville is a huggy city.
Yeah.
Ben and I were talking about that. I hugged the most in my life when I came to Louisville. I didn't grow up with a lot of hugs, so I've leaned into it. Now my lipstick don't get on everybody's shoulder. I've learned how to lean into the hug. Hugging is big here.
Yes, hugging is big, and I was sharing with Ben too. I'm a native of Chicago,
okay.
So that was one of the first things. I was like, they were like, "Oh, I'm a hugger." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're doing this."
Lean into it.
Oh yeah.
I'm from 100 miles up the road, and I blame my mom, but I really did not grow up with a lot of hugs.
Okay.
And when I came here, I was like, and how did that come up? We were talking about, he was at an event representing our district last night.
Oh, last night I was representing something else.
Oh, he was representing himself last night. But he ended up hugging a lot of the people we knew. And I was just like, it's this thing. Mm-hmm. And hugs are really personal because you're transferring energy.
Yes.
So if you're starting the day and you're giving these kids this amazing energy, their first touch, many of them, I mean, I imagine most of their parents hug them, but when they get to that environment, their first touch is this positive energy and saying, welcome, good morning, let's go.
Yes, exactly. And they look forward to it. So they're, running in the hallways to hug you because they are excited to see us. So that's how I start my day. And then of course it's the admin stuff. You got to check the emails, check in with admin, the principal, assistant principal, making sure that, because sometimes they get phone calls at the wee hours of the morning, at night, that they may need to share with me, that I may need to get on to first thing. So, house fires and, family members.
Deal with stuff like that at JCPS.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It bleeds over.
Yeah. Sometimes it starts with us, unfortunately. And by that, I mean, the kids are coming in and maybe emotional or things like that. And they like, hey, Miss Day, can you call my mom? I don't know what's going on. She was in her room crying. Can you just talk to her and check in? So what I do at the beginning of every year is introduce my role to the students. So they know that no matter what, their parents can call Miss Day. And so I just go with, just the basic language. Like if you go home and your lights don't turn on, tell your parents, like, it's okay. Call Miss Day. And I mean, it's nice because my name rhymes.
I know, that's right. I'll be dropping bars with that name.
Yeah,
it's okay. Call Miss Day.
That's right.
Great commercial.
Call Miss Day.
That's call Miss Day. Yeah. So food, I try to help as much as I can with employment, but I do rely on like our councilwoman is Ms. Betsy, so I'll call her like, hey, do you know any openings or know anything going on in the community that can help certain families? Because I don't claim to have all the resources, but I do have a nice little Rolodex so I can say, okay, I know somebody I can call for that. So that's also important in our role. And then I usually end the day with dismissal, car rider. Parents, if you're out there, please slow down and car rider.
Slow down.
Y'all hear that? Slow down.
And be on time. That's a self-reflection too.
Yes. Please be on time. But yeah, so just slow down. And then, so I end my day with that. And then I'll usually check my emails again at the end of the day just to make sure I didn't miss anything that, again, is pertinent that I need to address.
And then when you go home, do you have family?
I do. I have a husband and I have a 14-year-old. Y'all pray for me.
I did not know. Yeah, I definitely understand that.
Yes. He's 14, on his way to high school. So we just made it through middle school. So yeah, we're just moving and grooving. I was literally on the ride here thinking, so now he's at a Christian camp. He left this past Saturday. Shout out to KAA. They have saved our lives in so many ways.
Now, what is KAA?
KAA is Kids Across America, and they're a Christian camp, and it's a group of churches that take kids to Branson, Missouri for 5 days. They sleep there. They provide food. They talk about and learn about God. They fish, like no screens, no TVs, no phones.
I love it.
It's amazing.
I bet they come home tired.
Yeah. It's been a heaven sent in our house. So he's doing that. And then my husband and I were just working until he gets back.
Yeah. I like that. So you're one and done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Are you auntie?
I am auntie. So thank you for asking that. So I have a 1-year-old soon to be. She'll be 1 on the 20th. She's a niece. Her name is Samaria.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And then I have 2 nephews, Chase and Mazir. Chase is 9. Mazir will be 2 in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, it's fun. This past weekend, we went to Vegas for my dad's 83rd.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Dad.
And he went to Vegas?
That's where he wanted
You know
to go.
what? You got to get him
I ain't
in.
mad at him. I ain't mad at him.
He wanted to go to Vegas, and I like to give experiences to my nieces and my nephews. So my nephew, before we left, I said, and they live in Chicago, you get a yes day. He's like, what's a yes day? I said, well, that's your homework. First, you got to watch the movie, and then we'll have a yes day. So we got a chance to have a yes day in Vegas. He wanted to do the slingshots. So we did that. And
I'd have thrown up.
it was hot. Like,
Yeah.
it was hot.
It'd be hot like 8 in the morning in Vegas.
I thought I was going to lose them.
like
I'm not gonna
90
lie.
degrees at 8 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah. And it wasn't really early, so it was like peak. It was 1 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And so he's like dozing off, and I'm like, Chase, drink water. Okay, I'm good, though. I'm good. I'm like, nope. So we pull over, got some Gatorade.
It's a different kind of heat.
Yeah.
In those slingshots, there's no AC. You're
No.
going off of the air.
Yes, and the motor sits behind you.
Yes.
So
So the heat. I love the yes day. So one of the things I do, and I tell Ben and my other friends, there's like, they think that because I have so many kids that I just be like miserable when summertime's here, but I'm not. I'm all about the experiences. I want them to enjoy their summer. I hype them up throughout the year. Like, you almost there. You get into summer. You get to do what you want to do. Of course, we do some structured things. We don't want too much summer loss, so I do some type of academic thing. We do book challenges and all that. But the most part, they get to stay up late. They get to say, because Dad's really strict about bedtime. They get to say, but I don't have school tomorrow. I get to stay up. And so I deal with the mean looks from him. And I'm excited that they get to like enjoy it. You have to have, I always said I wouldn't be one of those weekend people, but I will tell you the last couple of years, especially taking on the executive director role I have and this council role, I live for the weekends. Now I'll be like, okay, what's coming up? But now my weekends are spent in my district going to community events and things like that. But there's sometimes, like this past weekend, we got to go camping. I think the kids should have incentives, not that you got to pay them to play, but they should have incentives and things to work towards. They should be saving money. I believe in those experiences. And I would tell you, Ben knows this, my older 3, they call themselves my struggle kids. They're 32, 28, and 26. And then the younger 3 are 22, 15, and 16. And they call them my mortgage kids. Because they're saying like but they all are spoiled in different ways, and where my older kids wanted more things like name brand things and going places and things like that. The younger kids, we spend a lot on those experiences like you talked about with your niece and nephew, and even your son. Like paying for those camps, I've already paid for a wrestling camp that was just under $500 for my boys to go to next month. And we had to pay in May. So I definitely understand, even though my kids are getting older, I still have a lot of expenses. And now that they're going to be a senior and junior, I'm always looking where money is going, because you want them to have it, but it costs. It costs every time I leave my house.
And that was a routine I had to start early. So it takes a village, right? People always talk about the village, but it really does. So I saw my friends, as Jason is my son's name, as he was in kindergarten, they were like in January, they were looking for spring break things and summer
you have
things.
to.
And I was like, wait,
you have to make a payment plan.
Yeah, do I need to be doing this too? So now I even start looking in November. I'm like, okay, Jay, so the summer will be here. What do you want to do? And so now I already know, because my family and I planned a vacation for next year this past weekend. And so now I know you may not be able to go to camp next year. So maybe let's start looking at some other things. And I think that, I would encourage parents to do that too during this summer, is figure out what your kids' talents are, because they may not always be able to do that during the school year because you're really focused on academics and any school extracurriculars, but really find their gifts, because maybe their school doesn't offer it, especially elementary. We don't have a whole athletic director and things like that. It mostly falls on Frisk.
Yeah.
So kids that go to Rutherford, I know that they will have environmental club in the fall. They'll have basketball in the winter, and then soccer. But what about my kids that like football?
That's right.
So
or chess,
Yes.
or robotics or things like that. So parents,
What about pickleball? Any of your kids asked about it?
we know. Our kids are all soccer.
I was
I'm
just
on
testing
South Louisville. They're all about
No,
soccer.
no hate
football.
to the pickleball players. I'm just saying it don't come up much.
Now let me shout out to Nicole Joyner over at Eisenhower, because her and a group of other Frisk in that area have created a little pickleball situation.
I like that.
Y'all got like a Frisk group chat for JCPS?
See, I can't get in the group chat. They have one, but like that's overstipulating for me.
Right.
Understandable.
Emails are enough.
Yes.
So we do have so we have different
But you share
clusters.
best practices and
Yes,
what you
absolutely.
got going on. Like the fact that you know pickleball is happening at that other school. A parent might need to know that
Correct.
and be able to tap into that.
Now,
I like that.
At JCPS, if I don't go to this school, can I go to this other school to get what I want?
It depends on the program.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I offer parent cafes that's open to anyone in Jefferson County. However, if I have soccer at my school, that is just for our students. So it just depends on the program. So just reach out to those FRCs that are in those schools. And that's the other thing that I think people miss is, okay, I live right here by a school, but my kids may not be in school yet or may not attend a JCPS school. FRCs are there for the community. So if there is something that you see a need for in your community, join those family resource advisory councils and, speak up for the community at large, because our kids live and play here. So we want to make sure that they have the best
Now,
opportunities.
I have a question, and I don't want to derail, but like sometimes we hear of folks like, oh, the kids these days, they don't have, or like, oh, I saw them doing it. So would you suggest they take part in this, even if they may not have kids in JCPS, but...
Absolutely. And even if you are, you have an organization or affiliated with an organization that has like youth providing services, yes, tap into those, the YSCs, which are your middle and high. So they have youth on their councils. So as an elementary school, I'm not required to have like youth on my council, but it's open to the community, and my meetings and everything is all open to the community. All Frisk are. So check the district website and look for those family resource coordinator advisory council meetings and figure out what your councils are doing. Because we also sit on different councils, like neighborhood place and things like that. So we know kind of what's going on in the community so that we can allocate dollars and take that back to our advisory council. Something that's a good talking point right now is like LAHEAP is losing money, and those agencies that
People are calling our office
Yeah.
to get help with utilities.
Get on your Frisk council, because we can allot funds according to the need, because we have to do an assessment and according to our council, but we can allot funds to help families with the water bill and LG&E. So please reach out to your Frisk, reach out to your local elementary schools if you need help navigating to figure out which Frisk would be able to support you, but there are resources available.
That's powerful to
I
have
didn't
those
know
resources.
They were available, because I thought it was just like parents or guardians of JCPS students.
No.
Oh, that is powerful.
So there's a lot. So can you, just for our listeners, and this will be on a podcast on the radio, and we're going live, but can you spell out what Frisk is, what FRC, I know what they are,
Sure.
but just so that they can hear it from you.
So when people say Frisk, that is Family Resource Youth Service Centers. So that encompasses all of us. Elementary is just FRC, Family Resource Coordinators. Middle and high school is YSC, Youth Service Coordinators, because they, again, have to have the youth, a student, on their council.
That's great. And sometimes when we go, we know a lot of them because a lot of them stay in their position. What's the turnover rate like for those positions?
We stay here.
Yeah, I felt like when my kids were in school, my older kids, I still see some of the same people around at their different schools. Granted, they went to different high schools and different middle schools and elementaries, but it's one of those positions where you kind of become a part of the pillar of the community because people know you and you see generations of family. Like I now have grandkids that are going to the first grade, 2 of them. And so when I'm at their school, I'm like, wow, some of these folks I've seen around and they've been around. So I think that's powerful because you're in a community, you're a trusted resource in the community, and you're there for everyone.
Yes.
And not, of course we all want our kids, like, the kids should be first in any situation. But the fact that you're there, I thought Ben's question was perfect for that because we have a lot of seniors. We have mixed groups in our district, but we have a lot of seniors who are like, what to do with these youth? Who has programming going on? What's going on? And we want to send them, hey, here's a way that you can help. Here's a way that you could be a part of the change you want to see. Mm-hmm. And they're not for us to be fearing. We shouldn't fear our youth, but we might have to help steer them to things that work for them. Like you said, soccer might be for this group. This other group may want to swim. I mean, being at Algonquin Park and seeing all the kids coming there and seniors coming there to swim, that's amazing. Yeah. And the fact that some communities don't have a community center that's open and they don't have a pool. So what are some things that you've seen in the summertime as places we can help direct people to? Because we have a newsletter that we put out as well that we want it to be a resource to the community, where we want to give them some ideas, like the what your son is participating in. That sounds like it has a waiting list that fills up very. Did it have a waiting list?
It didn't have a waiting list,
Okay.
but there is a fee associated.
Okay.
And it's $350. But for my family, it's not only affordable, but it's well worth it.
Yeah.
They take them, they feed them, they do all the things. And like my son gets so excited. Like when he leaves, I'm ready for him to say, hey, Mom, I'm ready to go back. Like the next day. So, it's fun and enriching to see them so excited about something like that. And it's funny you talk about fear and not fearing. Please don't fear JCPS.
That's right.
Don't fear us. Don't fear the schools. You also talked about seniors. There are a lot of seniors that are raising their grandchildren.
That's right.
We need you. We need to hear from you. Because there are a lot of resources and a lot of funds, a lot of money out there for grandparents raising their grandchildren.
Wow.
So please come on in the room. We want to hear you all. We want to hear what your needs and concerns are so that we can help support you. For
That's
sure.
perfect.
Yeah. But some other things that you can do, I love the parks. I'm all about the parks, and it's free. So if you can just if you can't do anything else, take them to the park. Our city has invested so much money and compassion in our parks. Just do a park tour. The library, one of the first things that I did when I moved here was we did the culture pass.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, all those things, like you can build your whole summer around the culture pass. Hey, you read 3 books, we'll go here, So I just think using the resources that we have, there are so many. Of the library is a perfect place to start. You can start there. If you don't know what to do with kids, no matter the age, you can always start at the library and they can help guide you the other directions.
I love that. Great answer.
And now I have another question. So if I have kids and I may work 9 to 5. Oh, excuse me. That was real deep.
The bass in it.
I know. I was like,
Yeah.
I may work 9 to 5 and my kids may not be in school and I may not be able to afford childcare. What are some of the resources to help me with that? So I'll take them to the park after work, but what are some things I can do with them during the day?
I think people take for granted the things that they have in their house. So if you have those littles that are not quite in school, but honestly, their older sisters or siblings are watching them, have them teach them how to play games with learning their letters, learning their address, learning their first, last name, telephone number, and address. We can just start there. That can be a whole summer of activities of learning those important identification things, because when they go to school, those are things that we're going to look for. We need to know their name. And when you do get time, going to restaurants and things like that, have your littles introduce themselves to the waiter or to the cashier, because they need to feel comfortable with safe strangers, and they're going to feel safe if you're present as a parent. So have them introduce, hi, my name is Sheryl Day, at the cashier, because when they come to school, I don't want to hear my name, Sheryl Day. Her name's what? My name is Sheryl Day. And we're trailing off, and you just put your kid on the bus. We don't have telephone number. We don't have we don't even know this kid's name. Yeah. So making sure that your kids feel comfortable to speak to safe adults, and school is the child's first social environment. So making sure that, hey, you're getting on the bus, introduce yourself to that bus driver. Hi, my name is Sheryl Day and I live at, so making sure that I know who I am so that somebody else can know, so that we can find where these kids are going home, because that's the big thing. So let's talk about first day of school.
Yeah.
Write their name and their address and your telephone number on the bottom of the shoe and inside the backpack. That is key, because they're nervous. Yeah. They don't know all these adults, and the first day can be hectic. Mm-hmm. And so you might have practiced all summer, but continue, and then making sure that, and maybe if you guys drive by the school so they can feel comfortable, but getting them ready for that first day, because it can be even worse and even traumatic if they aren't prepared, and making sure that they are prepared by
and
just
they feel like
those things.
They feel it when they're not prepared.
Yeah.
And that makes some of them back themselves in a corner even more, especially when you have kids performing at different levels or able to, their abilities are different. I think that's very sound advice. Since you went down that road around safe adults and safe strangers, we had Echo here, and we love them so much. And we're right now in this budget process trying to figure out how we can help support them, because programs like what Echo does coming into the schools are so valuable. When Echo was here, I shared that when we had to deal with our situation at home that was very bad, it was the school that stepped in and helped us. It was the ability for my sister to go to our school to report it. And that started to have change, and people listened to us and people heard us. Listening to kids is something we have to remind a lot of adults to do. Even if they're not sure, or you're like, no way, just hear them out, listen to them. And then something I've never heard before is write your name in the back, their name. My mom, she labeled everything. She puts initials on everything, but didn't think about shoes, like the inside of the shoe or something like that a kid would likely have with them, even if somebody tried to take them. So can you talk about, is Echo in your school? What's your connection to Echo? And then other safety things people can consider during the summer months where kids are out. Also, there's some free lunch sites, right? If you have some of that information.
Sure, absolutely. So Echo, yes, has been in our school on multiple capacities. So they have taught our entire school, all of our students, about safety and body awareness and good touch versus bad touch. I think they use different words, but that's what I grew up on. Mm-hmm. And then they also led our parent cafes. And I'm most proud of that, because they said that Rutherford's was the highest. And I think it's because of a couple things. So our funding got cut too. So I'm out there. If anybody wants to sponsor our parent cafes, let me know.
That's right. Put that out there in the universe.
Yes, please, please. So what we did was, so I have always done parent cafes, and it's always been, if they come 3 out of the 4, that they will receive a 1-year zoo membership. Zoo, we need to talk about how we do those PRs.
We just had the zoo there, and they said, because I asked them, does a family of 4 membership, because we want to see how we can help sponsor some, but does a family my family was bigger than 4.
Sure.
And they said it can be up to 6 kids now.
Yeah.
And that the family can be whatever you decide. So you, your husband, an aunt and an uncle with your child, like that can be, but we do need to talk about one of the next questions I have to them, or how families can get some discounted options to have those passes.
Correct, because that's where I came into a little of a conflict. Was I assumed that most of the parents that were going to come to the parent cafe were going to be SNAP or WIC beneficiaries. That was not the case. So if you receive SNAP or WIC, it's like $50 for a community pass, for that family pass. But if not, it's $150. $150. So that's a big difference. So just being knowledgeable of that. But we were able to get everyone zoo passes. So we had about 25 parents that received the zoo passes that came this year. And they said that it was the best turnout they've ever had. So
that's
but we also fed the families meals, not just chips and dip. Like, we fed them meals, and we also provided childcare. So shout out to our principal, Dr. Natsis, for stepping in and believing in the program, and the school investing, because the school invested in providing childcare and quality childcare. We're talking certified teachers in here with these kids. I mean, everywhere. We had a set of triplets.
Oh, wow.
They were like 6 months.
Oh my goodness.
So I did have some teachers side-eye me after the first session, like, what are you doing?
I kept my nieces, twins, my great niece and nephew, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah. But all in all, it was really, really good. So yes, we've had Echo. Echo is wonderful. And it just takes a lot off of the FRC. So we can fund something like Echo through our grant, but then I don't have to do the work. Like, I don't have to meet with the parents. I can just, rub elbows, say, hey, how you doing? And I'm the first face they see. And then they go in our cafeteria and meet with Echo, and they learn different things and things like that. And so with that program, we've had parent leaders evolve from that program. That's like, I want to be table parents, and I want to be able to be a part of this program as you go throughout Louisville. So I think that helps. It helps us, and it also helps Echo too to continue to grow their brand as well.
Well, I hear that we need this at every school, and we need to fund more of these activities so you all can do that. Would you have an amount on what it would take to fund the parent night, even if it's nightly or monthly or whatever, how often you have it? Do you have a general amount that it would cost to do that?
So I would say $2,000, and that would help support the program, because the program is $400 for a parent cafe, and then the rest to pay for
the additional wraparound support,
exactly.
the child care, the food.
Yes.
What about transportation? Has that been
It has
issue?
not been an issue.
Because it's in the neighborhood, so most kids are able to.
I'm not sure why it hasn't been an issue, actually, because I opened it up to everyone, so you didn't have to be in our like cluster, so to speak, in order to go. But I would say that if there was an issue, Frisk can help with that too, because we get TARC tickets and things like that. So we want parents in our building. So if you see this thing going on at your school or in your community, you're like, I really want to go, but I don't have a way. Again, reach out to your local Frisk or reach out to me at Rutherford, and I kind of can help guide the way. Something that we did get support back when the grant first started was with National Centers for Families Learning. They would help support and get transportation. Like, they would call Ubers for families and get them to these meetings. That's a lot of like logistics and things like that, but they made it happen.
Yeah.
So I think if there's an obstacle that you're like, I really want to go, but I can't do this, don't just sit with it on the kitchen table. Like, bring it to the table, bring it to us, and we can try to help.
Okay. And have you heard of PAVE? We work with PAVE too. Is it Parents Against Violence Engaged? And they've been doing work, and they do a family, is it
parenting, like training classes?
Yeah, they do those, and they're near Maupin. My boys went to Maupin, and they, but they're doing it over there near Maupin and some other places. Have you heard of PAVE?
I have heard of them, but because they don't, like, that need isn't for our part of town quite yet, thank goodness. But because I am a community social worker, I'm working with a community center on Jefferson. Okay. So we're going to have like a vaccine clinic for the youth in September. So I hope to learn more about those programs and get them to table, because those are concerns of like our Russell neighborhoods and things like that. So shout out to all the community social workers like myself, that not just in the immediate area that I work, but I recognize that there are needs all over Louisville.
It sure is. So, thank you. Especially the South End.
Yeah.
In the South End, you don't see as much support, not as much community centers. We don't even have a community center in our Shively area, but in the district it's limited. It's just the South Louisville Community Center.
D3, until you get to like Southwest down 12 or 14.
Mm-hmm. So we know that the needs are there, and I do want people to have your contact information. Now, are you all off for the summer as well? Where are some places people can call during the summer? Do they call 311 to get more information? And then, if you don't mind sharing your contact information so people can follow up with you.
Sure. So we do not get as long as everyone else. We get about 9 days. So we go out June 21st and we come back July 3rd.
So you're still working now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So I'm still working. So in order to reach us, it's hard. It's hard because usually they call the school directly and then they transfer it to us. So I would say start on JCPS's website, find your school website, and find your Frisk office number. if your children are all already in JCPS. Now, if you're like, I don't even know where to start, Sheryl, you can always call me. My number, unfortunately, goes to my phone. I do have good self-care, so I won't answer on the weekends or after hours. But it does come to my cell phone. Look at that.
Terrible. I answer the phone a lot. My phone.
Unless it's me.
I do answer for Ben.
And then all I get is, hello, this is Shamika Parrish-Wright. I can't come to the phone right now. I'm unable to. I said unable or unwilling.
Really, man. This is Cheryl's time. Sheryl, give us that information.
My telephone number, 502-586-6345. Again, 502-586-6345. If I don't answer it, you can also text that number too. I'd rather that. Like, just text me, so that way I can call you and that'll be easier. So just text that number, and I can connect you to either your Frisk or community resource if you need that.
And what's your email if someone wants to figure out how to donate to support one of your parent nights or anything that you have going on?
Sure. It's very long, but I'll tell you. It's Sheryl, SHERYL .day, DAY, at jefferson.kyschools.us. Again, Sheryl .day at jefferson.kyschools.us.
I like that. How much time do we have, Ben?
We are actually right on time.
Well, I wanted to give Sheryl an opportunity to share. Well, you can ask me anything, or Ben. Please put him in it too. But to talk about anything you think is pressing or things that you would think parents or caregivers, because not all caregivers have children themselves.
Sure.
It's the village, like we talked about. So any advice or anything that's up, that's coming up that you think we should be mindful of? Thinking about now, as you know, one of the most pressing things is what's happening in our immigrant and international communities and how they're being targeted. It's very close to home. We have loved ones that are connected to people who are worried about going home, going to work, things like that. So not to put pressure on you to answer around that, but any advice or anything that a family that is trying to figure out what's next, especially our immigrant and international families, should have.
Sure. Schools are safe places.
That's right.
Schools are safe places. You can feel safe to let us know what's going on, and we can try to help within our means. We need updated contact information, so always make sure that no matter what, we have a way to contact you, whether it be email and or telephone number. You spoke about summer meals. There is a list on JCPS's website, so please go to the website. Rutherford Elementary at 301 Southland Boulevard is also a site. We have breakfast, hot breakfast, and also hot lunch. So please, the kids have to eat within. No kid over 18 can eat, but that's at least you can get the kids out the way and get them fed. I do also want to put a plug out there for Kids Expo. Kids Expo is kind of how I got introduced to the podcast. Kids Expo is an annual community event that we do with 7 counties. It's pretty big. It's getting bigger. We focus on early childhood and getting those early childhood resources, and also positive parent-child time. So we want to make sure that parents don't feel stressed over the summer. So just kicking a ball outside, like just running or doing a nature walk. It doesn't have to be this big lavish vacation, but you can have a vacation in your backyard. That's for sure.
Staycation.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Louisville has created wonderful stops that we can make, again, with the Culture Pass. So please pick that up at your local library. And always, once school is in, we are more accessible as Frisk. So please reach out to us by just calling your school or, again, reaching out to me.
That is perfect. You're amazing.
Thank you.
We want to have you back when school starts.
Yes.
Remind people what resources are available during JCPS operational times, but just period. I know dead time when like kids, weekends and holidays and summer breaks, sometimes we got our meals just because of school lunch. So we're going to make sure in our newsletter we share that list of free lunch sites and where kids can get breakfast. And thank you for just coming, and please share any information you would like for us to include in our newsletter. And when is the next Kid Expo?
The next Kids Expo will be next April or May. The reason I say May is because it always has been in April until this year. I think we were neck and neck with Thunder over Louisville.
Oh, so, the big Thunder that didn't happen.
Okay, it didn't?
Exactly, that didn't happen.
The Thunder down under.
Well, because Thunder was supposed to be on the normal weekend.
Yes.
But it got moved up
Pegasus Parade, too.
And it got moved up by someone.
Yes, but the calendar, I mean, it moves, but yes, it's next springtime, so either April or May. Again, it's a wonderful event. This year, we gave over 5,000 pounds of Dare to Care food,
wow,
so everybody walked home with fresh produce. We had farm animals, so we did some farm literacy. We had rolling classrooms for early childhood, so families knew like what milestones their kids should be in gross motor and both fine motor. We had Humana there. We had vaccinations. Like it was a great thing.
Excellent.
That's amazing. And you just reminded me, visit your community gardens. People can always use help. We planted some garlic, and it has sprouted.
Nice.
We in our community garden off 7th Street Road, and we're looking for ways to support that. So just thinking about what you said, like our kids should be in touch with the earth.
Yes.
Not just playing on top of the grass, but what's under that grass. Dig in.
Not the bugs and the worms.
Yes,
all of the
worms.
ecosystem. And
the closest I got to it was the Jello pack where you put an Oreo and a gummy worm and stuff.
I never did that.
Oh,
I've only seen it. It never looks appetizing.
I mean, it's not. It doesn't taste good. But like,
what does it do? It grows?
No, it's just like an example of like, this is what it's like in the dirt.
Oh,
and then the jelly worm comes, or it's called a jelly.
It's like pudding, then the crumbs of the Oreo.
So it's created,
so it's like soil, and then
like the volcano experiment.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
That is interesting, Ben. But if you want to put your hands in real dirt, the community gardens are available, and we have one in our district. Please visit those. They always need help pulling weeds and things like that. It's a good activity. Like you said, there's a lot of staycations you can have. Yes. There's great ideas online that you can pull recipes and ways to get your kids engaged. And reach out to Sheryl. Reach out to our office if you need us. And this was beautiful.
Yes, thank you. I think, is it this one? No. Oh.
It gave bird sounds.
This one. That's the one I was looking for. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all for
we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.